The movie starts in a club where a man is sitting and drinking. He sees a girl and goes over to dance with her. They dance and he talks to her about something. Then we see them leaving together in a car. It looks like she might be a prostitute. As they are driving, he gets a phone call from his friend's mother. She asks if her son is with him. He says, "No, ma'am," and hangs up. He tells the girl, "It's my friend's mom." She replies, "I don't give a shit." He says, "Calm down, woman. I paid you to be nice, not clingy." He then calls his friend and asks, "Where are you? Your mom is looking for you." His friend says his car broke down and asks if he can pick him up. He says no and hangs up. Then he gets another call, this time from his girlfriend. She asks, "Where are you, baby?" He says he's at home. She says, "Please come pick me up. I'm at the airport." He says, "Why can't you just get a ride?" She angrily replies, "Please come quickly," and hangs up. The man sighs, "This is the worst day ever," and tells the prostitute to get out of the car. She angrily says, "You have to pay at least half." He replies, "Never. I'm not giving you shit." She gets out and insults him. Meanwhile, his friend is walking alone at night when two thieves come and rob him. They stab him in the back. As he's screaming, someone finds him. It's the prostitute. She quickly calls the cops. Next, we see his mother and girlfriend crying. The prostitute gives a statement to the police. An officer escorts her to see the patient. As they walk past, his friend covers his face so she doesn't recognize him. She sees the victim in the hospital. It looks like he survived. His mother thanks her deeply. The next day, the man and his girlfriend are talking. She says, "The girl who saved your friend is a prostitute." He replies, "I don't know, and I don't want to know. Let's change the topic." That night, the girl, the prostitute, is working at the club when she's called outside. It's the guy she saved. He says, "We have a little program for you because you saved my life." He invites her to a party. She says maybe she'll come. At the house party the next day, the man's girlfriend finally accepts his marriage proposal. He had asked her a month ago. He hugs and kisses her in joy. Then he gets a phone call from the prostitute saying she's coming but is lost. He tells his friend, "Please go pick her up." His friend is annoyed but goes. When he gets there, she's in a car. She laughs and says, "Oh, it's you." She tells him to open the door for her, then says, "Carry me into the house or I'll tell everyone." He's angry but does it. Everyone is shocked. The prostitute and the man talk for a while. She starts smoking. He says, "Please don't smoke in the house." She replies, "I'll smoke wherever I want." His mother comes in, gives her a drink, and says, "You can smoke wherever you want, darling." Later, everyone gathers, and the man thanks God and everyone for being there. He finally thanks the prostitute and gives her a gold necklace. Then he says, "I also want to thank my girlfriend. She finally accepted my proposal." Everyone claps. The next day, the man and his friend are drinking coffee. The friend says she doesn't deserve that gold necklace. The man replies, "She literally saved my life. How can you say that?" Later, we see his wife at work. She's a doctor. During lunch, she asks him, "Why did you give that prostitute a gold necklace? You never even gave me flowers." He says, "Why are you complaining about her?" She gets up and leaves. The next morning, he invites the prostitute for breakfast. She asks, "Why did you call me? You have 3 minutes." He says he just wants to ask a few questions. She says, "Okay, be quick." Then she gets a phone call. While she's distracted, the man steals something from her purse. When she comes back, she says she has to go and tells him, "Please don't call me again." At the doctor's office, we see his wife and another doctor watching porn on his phone, and they touched hands. She asked him, "I want someone to do me like that one day." Then we see this couple, and it looks like they are having a house date. She asked him, "When are we going to get married?" He quickly said, "Stop with that nonsense. We didn't even have sex." She said, "We will have sex once we get married." The man was so bored of her and her bullshit. A few months pass, and we see that they got married and lived together for 6 months. Then we see the wife talking to her sister, and she is telling her that he doesn't really satisfy her in bed. Then we see the husband cooking for her, and his friend is telling him that she should be the one cooking for you, not you for her. The man said, "It's not a problem." He friend then went home to his girlfriend, and he was lying to her, saying, "My friend and his wife are always arguing and fighting." She said, "Really?" He said, Yes, that's why we shouldn't get married quickly. But having sex before marriage is good, he said to her. She said, never. At night, the couple was eating dinner, and it looked like she was very tired. She said, good night, and went to bed. Then her sister told her on the phone something disgusting, which made her vomit. The husband was excited because he thought she was pregnant. Then at work, he was telling his friend that his wife was pregnant. At the doctor's office, her coworker came and told her, let's watch some porn, and she excitedly said yes. The husband was then telling his mother that his wife was pregnant. Then at night, we see the wife flirting with the doctor through the phone. The next day, the man's friend brought some whiskey and told her, congratulations. She said, for what? He said, we know you're pregnant. She started laughing and said, I'm not pregnant, I swear. Then at night, she was talking with her sister in bed, and they were talking about how bad he is in bed, and overall, just making fun of him. It turns out he was listening, he was instantly shocked. He went out for a drive and started calling the prostitute. She answered and said, who is it? He said, it's me, John. She said, I don't care who you are, and hung up on him. A few weeks pass, and the friends were in the office. He asked him, why are you reading a self-help book? Are you okay? He said, I'm okay. I just wanted to learn more about how to make my wife happy. Then we see the doctors watching porn again. Then we see the man and the prostitute meet in a cafe. He thanked her for coming. She said, how could I not come? You called 100 times this week. He gave her the wallet he stole from her. She said, I don't want it. Then she said, why did you call me here? He told her, my marriage is falling apart. She quickly said, what do I care? He said, I need your help. She said, go fix it with your wife. He said, please help me. And he explained everything that happened. She said, okay, thanks for telling me. And what makes you think I can help you? He said, I know you just graduated in psychology and you have many experiences in life. She quickly said, please stop. But he begged her, and she finally said yes. So she started teaching him and asking him questions. Then we see his wife and the doctor, and it looks like they are about to have sex. A few weeks pass, and we see her acting like therapy to him. She asks him, do you think your wife will ever cheat on you? He says, never. She loves me very much. The girl tells him how he can make his wife happy by just talking to her and kissing her without the need for sex. So at night, as they were having dinner, he asked her if she was happy with the marriage. She said, yes. Then he told her, you are not satisfying me in bed. She laughed and said, me? He went up to her and said, I love you, and I don't want to lose you. She said, okay, and said, I have to get to bed, I'm tired. The next day when he came home late, she wasn't there. She left a message saying, I'm going to work overnight today. But he didn't want to give up, so he went to the hospital holding flowers for her. She was in her coworker's office cuddling. Then, when he opened her office to give her the flowers, she wasn't there, so he called her and said, where are you? I'm in your office. She quickly got up and went to her office. She got in and said, hey baby, I was with a patient. He said, it's no problem, and gave her the flowers. The prostitute and the man went to another town for one night because he wanted to know if his wife could let him stay somewhere else for one night. Then, also his wife was talking with the doctor, and they were talking about leaving town for one day. They agreed. Then, in the car ride, the prostitute was telling him her life story. She told him how her mother died at a young age, and she had to be a prostitute to survive. Now that she has graduated and has a job, she is living well. Then they got there and booked a hotel to stay for the night. At night, the doctors were in the same town and in the same hotel, and they were in the club talking and drinking. Then the doctor got so drunk and took another girl to have sex with. The girl waited and waited, not knowing he was with another girl. Then we see the doctor with the other girl, taking her to his room. The prostitute and the man were also there. They said goodnight to each other. As they closed the door, the wife started knocking on every door, saying, where are you, doctor? With an angry voice. As she was knocking on the door, it turned out it was the prostitute's room. They talked, and the doctor told her, why do you keep on calling my husband? She said, I never called him. I don't know what you're talking about. The doctor then said to her, you're nothing but a prostitute, and went out. The next night, the doctor was in her house. Then he came and kissed her. "Did you miss me?" he asked her. She said, "It's only been one day." He said to her, "Where were you last night?" She said, "Here." He said, "Stop lying." She said, "I'm not a liar," and threw water at him. Then he slapped her and started shouting at her. Then she told him that she was with her sister and they went out of town. Then she lost her. As she was looking for her, she found that prostitute. "She is the one that told you, right?" He said nothing and went to bed. The next morning, the girl went to her doctor's office and found him with another girl doctor. She said to her, "Get out," and asked him, "Why did you leave me last time?" He said, "Because I don't care." She told him, "But I love you, and I want you to marry me." He laughed and said, "I'm never going to marry a cheater like you," and said, "Get out of my office." Then she started crying. At night, the man and the girl were in the car, and the girl gave him something to give to his wife. He said, "Thanks," and hugged her. At home, his wife was crying and texting the doctor, asking him to take her back and telling him how much she loves him. Then he walked in and said, "Why are you crying?" She told him, "I just lost a patient." He said, "Don't worry, it will be okay," and gave her the gift, a gold necklace. She said, "Thanks, baby," and told him she loves him so much. They ate dinner. They went to bed to sleep together. The girl was taking a shower, but her phone was next to him. He was curious to read her messages, and he read everything she was texting with the doctor. He was so angry and saddened by that, he started choking her for a second, then just went out. The next morning, he came to his house to change clothes, but she was there. She quickly said, "Baby, forgive me." He said, "We're getting a divorce. I have already contacted my lawyer." Then at night, he went to the prostitute's house to tell her what happened. As he came, she quickly started kissing him, and they slept together. In bed, she was telling him how she fell in love with him. He then said, "I love you too. I was just too scared to tell you." 4 months passed, and it looked like they finally divorced. And finally, the movie ends with the man asking the prostitute to marry him, and she said yes.